Hello, and welcome back to the No More Trauma podcast. My name is Tanya, trauma survivor, certified trauma informed yoga teacher, yoga therapist, coach, and wellness facilitator. My mission is to provide healing, mental health tips, and inspiration for living a trauma free lifestyle. You can find this podcast on Apple, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Hello, happy spring, early summer. How are you feeling? Ah, as always, it feels good to be back. The blooms are blooming. I hope you picked you up some. Maybe you went to your favorite Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or your local grocery store or florist shop to pick up a bouquet, or maybe your backyard. Maybe you stepped your toes in the grass or dig them in the sand and look up at the sun. Oh, it's starting to feel good out. Do you feel that breeze? Welcome, welcome. Today's episode is for Mental Health Awareness Month. You thought I was going to forget? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Well, um, let's get started. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, I would like to dive into today's topic, is how we can take back our mental health. But Tanya, how do I do that? When we are in the midst of change or taking the path ahead, it can sometimes feel disempowering and uncomfortable. Sometimes it can simply impact our mental health. For mental health awareness, I was inspired by Pueblo Cuelo's book, The Way Forward. Listen, I was sitting in a chair getting a getting a pedicure, and I had my book and my digital copy of this book in front of me. And as she's buffing away at these toes, I am getting the back massaged, and I'm looking in this book, and it says he lists the 9 keys to power. And that same power, I thought, these the same pieces that can cater to our mental health. So I was inspired. Some of these are great practices and tools to support your brain health and your mental health. So I like to dive right in. If you're listening to me in the car, turn up the volume. Well, let's talk number one. And there are many books on this. And I think it's actually the title, Sacred Rest, right? Or active rest or constructive rest. And when we have the ability to carve out time to pause, it really can support not only our mental health, but this can also help us with repairing our muscles, our metabolism, and our heart health. So resting can actually benefit any accumulated stress that you may have picked up from a long work week or a heated debate with a partner or friend. Place your phone on D&D, do not disturb. Ooh, I love that button. Take some time away to reduce any inflammation in the mind, in the body, in the soul. So I am really, 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 really an advocate for rest. And so if you have a yoga practice, take that Shavasana. Or again, taking a mental health day. I know we only have a few months left in the month of May by the time this airs, but I really invite you to take a pause if you have to, if you have that flexibility where you can just go in maybe just an hour later for work to just have some time to just lay down and get cozy under the blankets, close the blinds. Hopefully the kids are at school. or your furry friends are like playing with their dog bone, or your cat is like, hanging out with some catnip, and it's your time to just put up your feet, right? And lay on the pillow and just lie there and just listen to the hearts, listen to the beats, listen to the air around you, taking a gentle pause. And if you can't do it in before work, I invite you to just take an hour off early. So that way you can just, before getting to those, after work priorities, take a moment to just nap. I don't know about you, but I miss I miss those in the middle of those afternoon naps, like in what was it, like first grade or kindergarten? Yes, please. Hand me my chocolate milk. Let me go to bed. All right. So number two, let's eliminate the fluff. Oof. Ooh. Okay, now we talking. Eliminating the fluff. So keeping things withheld or blurring lines can heighten anxiety, right? So it's critical to be clear with your words and your intentions. Ooh, been there. When we adopt habits or not being truthful for the sake of not wanting to hurt others or to fit in can increase risk of being found out. You have to keep sweeping things under the rug, and the anxiety can create symptoms of headaches, elevated blood pressure, and limited breath capacity, right? You're not even breathing anymore because you're like, how can I'm not being transparent, or I'm not being clear in my words or my intentions. And this is causing, havoc, and I'm trying to beat around the bush, or I'm trying to sugarcoat, and I'm all the things, right? And it's everything that you're thinking about. Remember, if you heard me on this podcast before, as above, so below. And so if that's all what's going on in the mind, ooh, I don't want to know what's going on in the body, right? So it can really create some tension, for you and whoever else, right? And so recovery people pleasers may find it challenging to activate their no. But this can save you time and heartache in the end. Do your best to sit with what does or doesn't feel right. You can practice in the mirror, you can record a video, or jot down your thoughts. I heard someone say about a week ago, those shower voice memos. I don't know about you, but I definitely have a whole dialogue in the shower, right? And so when you have those voice memos and you're trying to practice it out, or to say this, or say that, and I'm just gonna come out smoothly, listen. Create your memo, right? Practice. If it's not for you, then save your future you by just being honest, right? So when we eliminate the fluff, it really helps remove all of that stuff, right? That gunk that sits in the brain. Yeah. So before I move to the next one, I just want to say, if you like what you're hearing, if you feel connected to, maybe the introduction of this podcast, or you listened to any of them before, or you just like my vibe, well, thank you. And I love to have you on the journey of No More Trauma. And so I ask that you visit the No More Trauma YouTube channel, where we practice yoga and Pilates for trauma recovery. I have a mixture of videos where you can practice with me on your mat. And the podcast is there, as well as you can find how to stay connected with me via the website at nomoretraumayoga.com. And if you would like to practice yoga therapy with me, you want to see if you're a good fit to work with me by leveraging alternate healing modality like yoga therapy, and leveraging some of those yogic principles and philosophies, then feel free to connect with me or email me at az.nomoretrauma@gmail.com. Perfect. So getting back to where we left off, healthy, intimate connections. Ooh. When we connect with others and practice vulnerability, this can support our dopamine receptors. Okay. And so the dopamine begins to increase when we have space to interact with others. So call a lost friend, right? A long lost friend that you have. I ask or invite you to join a local community event or schedule some time for an intimate period with a loved one, right? So schedule some time where you both can come together, right? This can be a friend, this can be, someone within your community, this can be your partner. This can also be a professional, right? If you want to just have a conversation with them, a mentor, should I say, right? Because we don't want to have a conflict of interest. So those healthy, intimate connections can be really supportive to the brain, right? So get out and connect, schedule some time, pull out your phone, go through your contacts and see, who haven't I heard from in a while, right? And let's chat, whether it be, virtually or over the phone or in a cafe, in the park, whatever that looks like at the beach, whatever that looks like, start to stimulate that throat chakra. All right. So the next one here, we're going to do the hard work. Ooh, does it sound good when it has the word hard in it, right? Anytime we hear, do the tough stuff or the hard stuff, and we're like, no, immediate resistance. I know, I know. Well, doing the hard work, right? When we do the hard stuff, the tough stuff, like healing our traumas, we can surely step into our power and reclaim our mental health. You can repair and strengthen bonds and build confidence. Okay. We start to embody this self-respect. We have boundaries, and just this glow. Ooh. And do believe that when we're doing the tough stuff, it will not be rainbows and butterflies, I promise you. Ooh. However, what I do and what I can promise is that it'll be worth it. Okay. So reaching out to a mental health professional or a yoga therapist to support you on your journey to healing these past traumas or personal challenges, right? What are the patterns? What are the things that are consistently showing up where you find yourself getting stuck, right? This person can be your guide and your container. So when you do the hard stuff, you don't feel alone in that process. And my gosh, you look stunning when you look in the mirror. You're like, oh, I got this. Oh, my mental health is vibrant. All right. So the very last one, right? Giving without keeping score. Ooh, clutch your pearls. I know. Giving without keeping score. Giving from your heart and not from your expectations can save you mental anguish. When we choose to give from hidden motives or wanting something in return, this creates unwanted brain predictions of an expected outcome, right? So this is discussed even in psychology, right? It's kind of like what's happening. I have expectations now, and now I think this may happen and this is what the outcome should be, or, if I do this thing, sometimes, and I think we've all experienced it, where we think we're on a journey to something and we may have a vision of the outcome and it doesn't always go as planned. And we're like, ooh, not what I was, not what I was thinking, right? So our mind will send us on a journey of mental chatter, false beliefs, or fantasies. We're unable to process information from what we're seeing and experiencing. It's important to give your time or other things you feel, right, called to share from a place of healthy intention, excuse me, and not with expectations. Feel free to lean on a friend or a person you want to give to and simply just ask, hey, I'm considering this. Would you like to accept this offer? Yeah. And from there, you get to explore what that answer is and your intentions, right? It'll always come back to your intentions. Okay. If it's authentic, then it will align. If it's inauthentic, then you'll be met with some dis-ease. So the last way you can reclaim your mental health will uh, not just be, it's not exactly how I have it listed, because I'm going to invite you to use it as a tool, and that's journaling. Hello, of course that's on the list. But now you get to proactively use it, right? So for your homework in this podcast session, I'm gonna create it as a session because now you have homework. Oh yes, Tanya, I have homework. Oh, you do. This is your time to take inventory. Where are you with these 5 powerful check-ins and call outs, gentle call outs? Okay, I'm not putting you on the spot, but it's a gentle call out within your lifestyle. Kind of gauge where you are on these. Are there any of these call-ins or check-ins that can be improved upon, and how can you incorporate any of these to build a better mental health capacity, connections, and just a more vibrant you, right? Because maybe one or maybe all of these may be showing up for you and maybe activating, stimulating something within your mental health. Okay. So again, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Again, I do know that by the time that this airs, probably on the holiday, that we maybe only have a few days left, but your mental health is a lifetime thing. It's going to be with you. It's going to stay with you, and it's up to you to be proactive and take care of it. It's your responsibility, right? So mental health is about self-care as well as preventative care. Self-soothing and regulating tools are necessary to sustain your body and brain health. Staying in the know about your mental well-being prevents mental dis-ease and supports you on a thriving, healthy lifestyle. I can't say that piece enough. Okay. I will include the book, the link to the book down in the show notes if you haven't read The Way Forward. Very gentle read. I love it. So I'll share that. And again, if you want to stay connected, those links will also be below. If you enjoyed this podcast, I ask that you kindly support me by liking, commenting, sharing to anyone, or with anyone who will enjoy or benefit from this. Remember, if you are experiencing any signs or symptoms of I ask that you immediately reach out and dial 988, right? Take care of yourself. And I look forward to seeing you back in the next No More Trauma podcast. Remember to live Live abundantly, love your authenticity, and radiate organic happiness. But most importantly, live a life of no more trauma. Be well.